Let's talk about NVIDIA earnings. So first off, they pretty much crushed it. They beat on revenue, they beat on EPS, and they beat on forecast above consensus. And Wall Street did what you would expect, which is made their stock go down. and Daniel, I know you had some really intelligent thoughts on that. We're on a bunch of TV shows. So I'm going to leave that part of it to you, but I did want to break down and where all this growth came from, and it was primarily from gaming and data center. So gaming saw a massive bump, and this has been really driven by the 300 series of RTX gaming cards, which is just, I wonder, when will this stop? All this growth, and it's probably not going to, particularly when we're headed into the holidays and we have COVID and multiple AAA titles are coming out. There was also growth in the data center, and you needed to do a little bit of calculus to figure out where that came from, because 13% of that data center number is Mellanox, and about a third of the data center number is Mellanox. But when you peel that back, 77% of that data center growth was organic, which is just incredible when you look at it. The machine of machine learning training and inference, the wheel just keeps going, primarily on the back of cloud giants.
Yeah, I mean, Pat, look, there was a lot going on in this whole. There was just a tremendous amount in this particular earnings. The growth that you mentioned, the 13% that was associated with Mellanox, made the data center growth look monumental. What I think happened with the street, first of all, the street really represents the future, not the present. And so as news has been breaking for NVIDIA over the past few quarters, the market has essentially been baking that news into the price. So the price has tripled. NVIDIA has almost 100 PE ratio, and now it's just under 100. Now, to give you some context there, Intel sits at just over 8. That means that Intel's stock is valued at 100 times earnings almost, and whereas Intel is only 8. And the reason I say that is these are comparable companies in terms of the market they serve, the technology developed. And so clearly the market's already putting a huge value and a huge premium on what NVIDIA is doing. The ARM deal is another big thing here. And so I said that the ARM deal was a $40 billion deal that, by the way, got washed out by the growth of the market capitalization of NVIDIA within just a matter of hours of it being announced. So what I think happened was the earnings met the expectations that the street already had. The growth was exactly on par with kind of what was expected and what had been set. The forward-looking guidance was good, but just kind of consistent. Wasn't necessarily another blowout quarter. And everyone said, you know what? We may have sort of peaked here, or this is at least a peninsula for the company's growth. And so we are going to pause here, or maybe exit here, take some profit, and then wait. And Pat, the one big thing to wait on is going to be the ARM deal. Now, no question, the ARM deal is a tremendous win for NVIDIA. But there is a lot of hurdles ahead for the company. It's going to face regulatory scrutiny in probably every major geo around the world, including RFTC here in the US. And I'm just beginning to start to be able to see the number of companies in the tech sphere that may have questions about this. And you start to add that up, Pat, and a lot of people I think are saying, given that the ARM deal is probably baked into the price, plus the growth has been baked into the price, maybe it's time to just kind of let a few of these things play out. But Pat, the success of NVIDIA this quarter is outstanding. It's still at 77% organic growth in data center, had a blowout gaming quarter. So a lot of kudos to the company, but I do think the market was early and the market had already sort of absorbed a lot of its success.
Yeah, I'm really, they should be feel really good at NVIDIA right now. And, I think the whole industry is looking forward to some competition, increased competition in training. And I think Habana from Intel will likely bring that. And there are a collection of other players. One of them's a wafer scale, but really kind of focused in on the military right now. And then on the inference side, I'm really interested to see what Qualcomm has.